Hey everyone, today we are taking a look at a feature which I'm sure you've all been seeing in the last couple of days. The new update for Chat GPT, where this new picture image generator, and all that. And we're going to look at how we can use it to our advantage to make better thumbnails. Now, I go the manual route making thumbnails, and I will still continue to do so. So this tutorial is pretty much aimed towards the people that they can leverage AI in their favor to actually make better thumbnails, or sort of copy thumbnails from your competitors without actually having to know how to use Photoshop much or anything like that. So we're going to start with this thumbnail here that a member of the community posted on the top here. I downloaded this from a user, from a student in the school community, and even though I did give some suggestions on how to improve it, I thought, well, what if I try and make, oh, there's the mouse. And what if I try and make these changes myself, leveraging, the Chat GPT, the new updated version. So as you see here, I uploaded the picture. Now this is the paid version, so it's $20 a month. The free version, you can forget about it because it doesn't even generate an image because it's limited. So it didn't work the 5-6 times that I used it, so I just said, you know what, I'll just get the paid version because I have a different AI that I use, which I'm paying for. So a member of the community made this image here, and I had given him some suggestions on how to improve it. I'm like, well, what if I would put those suggestions into ChatGPT and sort of leverage it to, use this image to make a better quality image. So based on here, I told ChatGPT, I uploaded it, said redo the thumbnail. On the right, have a close-up of Jay-Z with a very angry face and remove Beyonce. So I want to remove her from the picture. Remove Beyonce that's standing next to him. And on the left, of the thumbnail, make Beyonce sad that she got caught and exposed. Because I just went by what it says in the title, in the image, because I don't know what the video is about. So that she got exposed, and make the white box on the bottom fit the text and leave no empty white space on the sides or the top or the bottom. So shift the text a little bit more to the left in the white box and change it to Beyonce exposed. Okay, now this doesn't really work how I would have hoped. So we're gonna actually go through what the results were. We're gonna analyze them. So after all of this is the result that it gave me. Now, first thing that comes to mind is that the image is square. Now, ChatGPT by default makes square images, which means the aspect ratio is 4/3. So 4:3, 4 2 dots 3, which in our case is not useful because they need to be 16:9, which is the correct aspect ratio for the YouTube thumbnails. But it got correct. It changed the text. It did sort of what I asked it. The picture here actually looks good. This looks good, but I want more emotion. I want more. So I gave it another text. I re-uploaded. So now it has this one saved in its in memory. So I re-uploaded the picture again, and I gave it another info. So it now already has the faces in here saved in there. I basically told redo the thumbnail on the right, close up of Jay-Z. Angry face, yelling with mouth open, with some spit flying out, and remove Beyonce standing next to him. On the left, make Beyonce sad with her mouth open, crying and tears running down her face. Make both hands of Beyonce sort of like closed fists below her chin, emphasizing her sadness. Then I said make the white box on the bottom fit the text and leave no empty white space on the bottom, etc., etc. Change it to Beyonce exposed, and I added, and very important, make it 16:9, which is the aspect ratio. This is very important. It made me this. This is a much better improvement over this. It's sort of, you can see a little bit of spit flying out here. I'm still not satisfied with this. There's a lot of people that probably would be satisfied with it. It looks good, but me personally, I'm not satisfied. Beyonce's face and her hands is perfect. Him yelling like that is perfect. This on the bottom is not good. Also, the size, it's not really 16:9. It's slightly smaller, and I can tell it's slightly smaller, but we'll get into that as we go on. So I told it, redo it again. And also, I don't like the fact that Jay-Z's face is not centered. There's like all this empty space here on the right, which I don't like. So I told it, redo it again the same, but move Jay-Z slightly to the right as there's too much space free on the right side. So make him centered. Also make the text big enough where there is no, emphasizing the no, white free space on the top and the bottom, etc., etc. Make the thumbnail, because I realized it wasn't correct aspect, make it 1280 times 720, so this would be 720p. Aspect ratio, and then 16:9, because it's still not correct. And it made this image here. Does this open? Yeah. Now in this image, we notice Beyonce doesn't look like Beyonce anymore. Everything else is perfect. The hands are perfect, but I don't even know. I don't know who that is. Jay-Z is perfect. He is absolutely perfect. Plenty of emotion on his face. It's exactly what we're looking for. His face is centered. And this is still, like, it cut off the breaking news. It's just like eking news. Beyonce exposed. It's still too much. I'm not happy with this. I'm especially not happy with Beyonce's face. So I had to take it one step further. I says, you completely changed Beyonce's face. It doesn't even look like her. I didn't even ask you to change her. Do it again, but make Beyonce's face look like Beyonce. And then I said, you know what? At this point, just remove completely the red breaking news box and the text and fit the black text Beyonce exposed in a way that fills up the entire white box. So I said, let's see what comes out. Image created. This is the image it created. Jay-Z's face is slightly different. You know, it looks like it shifted a little bit more to the left, but that's okay. Beyonce still doesn't look like Beyonce, and plus, I don't like the look of her face. And the white box, and this is a disaster. I then uploaded the first image it made, where Beyonce's face, on how it works, that's perfect. That is 100% perfect. Even his face is amazing. So if you upload a new image, then it'll apply to this based off of, you know, the latest image you've uploaded. So I said, make it again, make Beyonce's face only identical to the picture. Oh, make Beyonce's face only identical to the picture I'm attaching. Also completely remove the white box on the bottom and the text. Now what happened? This is what you can expect. I am currently unable to generate the image due to rate limits. So please give it a moment. I can assist you with your request shortly. Thank you for your patience. So I said, in a couple of minutes, I said, try now. And it said, you're still... So Chat GPT, even for the for all paid versions, all users are limited to a certain number of image generations in a certain time span, because with this new implementation of this realistic thing, people were requesting too many changes, and it was pretty much oversaturating the servers that Chat GPT is hosted on. So they put limits. So the first limit was like 3 minutes. So I waited. I uploaded again, and I did the same text, and then after about the first 3 minutes, it made me this. This is beautiful. Beyonce's face looks great. Jay-Z's face on the right there, it's still a little bit too far to the left, but this is what I emphasize in my one-on-one calls and in my tutorials. In order to sell the thumbnails, in order to get the people to click on your videos, you need to trigger an emotional response. And that is exactly what is happening here. We are triggering an emotional response because you have Beyonce crying and Jay-Z is exposing her. So that's what the impression it gives based off of the input that I've given it. Now, you're probably saying, okay, well then what do I do now? Thank you, genius. Where's the text? Or where's this? Or where's that? Well, that's another part. What you do now, if you like this image, you import it into Photoshop or whatever software you use, and then from there, you just manually add that white box on the bottom. We have the PNGs available in the classroom, the Photoshop PNG overlays with exactly the white box and breaking news, so you can add that manually. But now another problem that has come up is that the image is still not 16:9. Well, you can actually overcome this problem by by making your project that you're working on in Photoshop 1280 times 720, which is the correct aspect ratio, which is 16:9. and then you can import the image, and then it'll probably just, you can do it in a way where not to cut off the top part, but just cut off a little bit of the bottom, and then you can have all this, and then you can put the text in here, and then you have your thumbnail. So it cuts a little bit off the bottom, but in order to get it the right size, it's not a problem. So I told it again, make it the same without changing anything, but put Jay-Z's face towards the center of his square. So I insisted on this, and the next image it made was this. This is probably, according to me, this is probably the best one. This is amazing. This really looks good, because she is like, she's distraught. You can tell it's Beyonce. She's super sad. He's pissed off. He's yelling. This looks fantastic. But I insisted on the aspect ratio, and it said, what is the aspect ratio? And it says here, the image you uploaded, so of course it starts gaslighting me. The image you uploaded has a resolution of 1152 times 768 pixels, which gives it an aspect ratio of 3 times 2. If you want the standard 16:9, for example, 120, I can resize or regenerate it for you accordingly. Just let me know. And it says, yes, always make future thumbnails images 16:9 unless expressed differently. Wow. I said, got it. I'll make sure all future things are in it. And I said, okay, well, remake the image in 16:9. I probably should have told it to resize it. It probably would have been a different outcome, because then it remade the image, and her expression, while still great, I like this one better because your mouth is open. You can see the teeth and all that. So it's like that she's literally about to bawl her eyes out. Jay-Z are good in both. It's probably the same image, even though it looks like it's still moved it a little bit more towards the left. I don't know why it's fixated on moving the images towards the left. And this is what I left it with. So I can use the last two images. I would go with this one, because this one has so much emotion on it, and it's perfect. It has exactly what I asked it to do. You can add the text on the bottom. I would just say, look, don't even, worry about the text. Don't even mess with the text, because, it's still, I guess it's still like in development. So I really wouldn't worry too much. As long as you get the initial image, you're doing great. And to go from the an original image, which was this, which are just two pictures taken from the internet and all that, to go from this to this, that is a gigantic improvement. And what I like more about this with respect to Grok is amazing. Don't stop using Grok if you're familiar with it already. But the reason why I like this is because the colors. Like Grok usually delivers flat images, which then you have to rework with Photoshop. You gotta make it brighter, you gotta make it more saturated, whatever you use in Grok to do that. But this, the colors are nice and rich, nice and bright. I would actually maybe bump up the brightness slightly on the general image, and this image is good to go. You don't have to make any further changes. Even this looks great. This looks amazing. You could put the text on the bottom and your thumbnail is done. So this is how you can actually leverage AI to literally help you make amazing thumbnails. You just need to remember the most important key factors. You need to evoke an emotion. So you want the people to click on your video. Why are they clicking on your video? This doesn't explain much. So Beyonce got exposed by, and then here probably the title would be exposed by Jay-Z or whoever is exposing her. So you need to improve on this, and you can improve on this. And I was almost there, because this is literally the first time I tried this, and it came up with in the end this image. But if I had to choose, I would go with this one, because this one shows so much emotion. The faces are very close up. And the best part is that you've created a high quality image for your thumbnail that is amazing. Even the line down the middle, you don't even have to do that in Photoshop. It's done for you already. So it's so easy, and this is how you can leverage AI to make an amazing thumbnail.